Hey folks, Will here again with Happily Ever Outdoors. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the TNH Outdoors self-inflating sleeping pad. So keep watching. Alright guys, so once again, this is going to be the self-inflating sleeping pad from TNH Outdoors. First off, I want to say thank you to TNH Outdoors for sending this out to us to test and review. I need to let you guys know I'm not a paid representative of the company, so any statements that I make or opinions that I express in this video are my own. So I'm already familiar with the self-inflating sleeping pad concept. We use something similar in the military. This is really cool because basically you can just lay this mat out and open the valve, and quite literally it will inflate itself. So my basic understanding is that the foam inside the pad gets super compressed when you roll it up, and then when you unroll it, that expansion is what actually draws the air into the pad. So as you can see, this pad rolls up fairly compact compared to some others. That's because it does have the ability to fold in half lengthways when you roll it up. So that's going to be nice if you want to actually be able to fit this inside of a pack. I've also found if for whatever reason you wanted to roll it up longer and skinnier, like if you wanted to hang it on the outside of your bag or something like that, you can still do that. It works just fine. Some of the things right off the bat I like about this sleeping pad is that it's fairly affordable, and along with that, it's actually really good quality in my opinion. So included with this sleeping pad, you get the nylon drawstring bag. They also throw in a single-use patch kit, which is nice, and there is a like Velcro strap, retention strap that you can use to get this thing rolled up nice and tight and keep it that way. Now that we've got the camera backed up a little bit, let's take a look. Now you probably can hear that, just barely, because as soon as I opened it up and that pressure came off of that foam, it just immediately starts trying to draw air in. So you're just going to want to go ahead and open it up. And by the way, the reason it did that is because you do want to store this with the valve open. That way you make sure that it's not like pressurized at all on the inside, so in case you fell on it or something like that and there was still some air trapped in there, you wouldn't end up damaging the pad. So while we're just giving this a couple minutes to inflate on its own, I want to talk to you guys about the construction of this. I'll go ahead and put the specific specs and everything on the screen, by the way, but just from my impressions, this is really well built. This is a nice, sturdy, heavy-duty material. Again, it's a little bit different than like what we would use in the military, but as far as the durability of the construction, it seems pretty comparable. So it doesn't look like they cut any corners there. I also like the shape of it, that it's kind of rounded off as opposed to just being square. And the length of it is pretty good too. I'm 5'6", and I can pretty much, you know, just about get my whole body on here except for my feet. But even for somebody who's bigger, it's plenty big enough, really, you know, your main points of contact on the ground, you know, like your hip or your butt or your shoulder, it's all going to be on the pad, so you're definitely going to be cushioned. Now you may already know some of the key benefits of using a sleeping pad. Besides the fact, obviously, that it gives you some cushion, it also puts some air, some insulation between you and the ground. Now one benefit to a self-inflating sleeping pad as opposed to one where you have to blow air into it, as I saw another reviewer mention, made a really good point, is that when you blow air into a mat, you're also going to be putting some of the moisture from your breath in there. So if you're in really, really cold temperatures where it might actually get down to freezing, that's actually going to affect how well that mat insulates you. That's actually going to make it draw heat away from your body. But because this mat's able to pull air in on its own, you don't have that issue. Now, just like self-inflating sleeping pads in general, this thing isn't super thick, but it is fairly thick. It's definitely enough to give you some cushion. And you can see there's a little bit of squish there, but it doesn't give too much, so you've got a nice little comfortable layer there. Try to turn this sideways for you guys real quick so you can see a little bit better. So you can kind of see right there, again, I'm 5'6", and I can get my entire body onto this mat. And even just as it stands right now, I am pretty comfortable. We are just on the hard ground. There's no other cushion here other than this mat, and I could sleep like this. And once you're inside a good quality sleeping bag that's appropriate for your climate and the time of year, you are gonna be all set. Now, once you're done and you're ready to head out, breaking it down is even simpler. All you're gonna need to do is go ahead and open that valve back up, and just remember you're gonna leave that open for storage. And then you can go ahead, for me, I was able to just fold it in half, and then just start from the end furthest away from the valve, and basically just roll it as tight as you can, and that's gonna push all the air. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not on the camera, but this is gonna push all of that air out of the mat. Then we'll just go ahead and take our retention strap, run it back through the buckle, cinch it down nice and tight, and it goes right back into our drawstring bag. And that's all there is to it. So guys, overall, I am really impressed with this sleeping pad. It's a quality product. It's definitely well built, and it's affordable, which is always great. And it's practical. It's simple. It's easy to use. Anybody can use this thing and get out on the trail. There's nothing complicated, nothing that's gonna break on you. And this is just really great to see because TNH Outdoors is a smaller company. It's a startup. Probably a lot of people haven't heard of them. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. But the product, once you get it in your hands, it speaks for itself. Especially when you get on sites like Amazon, you know, there's a lot of junk gear from no-name companies on there, but TNH is not one of them. They're definitely putting out quality stuff here. So again, thank you TNH Outdoors for sending this out to us to test and review. This is definitely going into my kit. This is something I'm going to be using on a regular basis moving forward. So it definitely gets the HEO seal of approval. Of course, if you want to check out this self-inflating sleep pad from TNH Outdoors or any other products, I will have links in the description below for you. And if you've got any questions, don't forget to drop those in the comments. Until next time, stay happy, stay outdoors.